094395.
There's a new food show sheriff in town, Podna. Trey's Chow Down Podcast Live will feature celebrity chefs and pitmasters with celebrity mixologists with creative cocktail menus from distilleries statewide. We'll have farmers, ranchers, wildlife experts, fishermen, and more, all for the culinary world and the foodies. Live from the Spoonie Studios on the iHeartRadio platform, Trey's Chow Down Podcast Live.
And here we are back for another day of Trey's Chow Down Live in the Spoonie Studios. And we got Patrick and Ron, and this week we got somebody else in there. She's sitting back there. You can barely see the top of her head, but she's back there. Joe Beth. And in the studio today, we got Stefon Rishel. Hey, say everybody, there's your camera right there.
Oh, hey, how's it going? I'm new to this. I'm sorry. I cook for a living.
Yeah, that's right. You cook a lot for a living.
Absolutely.
So we're here with Steph Stefon. Is you're doing you're catering right now? Doing I know you're doing a lot of pop-ups
and catering. Yeah. I got a couple of weddings on the books and kind of going from there.
Because he's fixing to do Wishbone Flynt.
Yes, sir. Wishbone Flynt.
That's right.
Southside Maine.
I like that one.
Part of that new Southside development right there, Maine and Broadway. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're really excited to see that whole area kind of revitalized.
I'm really excited. I love that. I love old stuff. I love the building the way it looks.
Oh man, vacant for 25 years, nothing but exposed brick and beam.
I love
gorgeous.
that. I love the door.
Yeah,
they're putting in.
It's like an old English castle. Like you got to rap, get the password. Like, it's great. So that'll be to the other piece.
Yeah.
That's not to the restaurant.
Yeah.
So we have a craft cocktail lounge that's attached to it.
That's cool. That's gonna be awesome.
It's kind of secret.
We're gonna get out in a minute.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna talk a little bit about where you've been, what you've done, how you became a chef because you're self-taught.
Yep.
So let's just kind of start off from the beginning. When did you decide? At what age did you decide you want to cook? How did that evolve?
So my dad was always in the business,
right.
And I always said with the amount of hours that he was working, like he always made time to make it to different events and stuff. But the big thing was, I don't ever want to not be there when I need to be there.
Right.
And so I was like, I'll never be in the service industry. Then I started bartending. I got bit. But I started cooking during the day.
Right.
And I got bit. I just loved the art of watching people enjoy something you create.
Sure.
And so it just progressed from there. I went a different unorthodox route to executive chef. I did some consulting. And then it just kind of fell in my lap at Brackett's in Dallas. I will be the first to tell you that when people tell you you're not ready to be a chef, you should listen to them.
Yeah.
You don't be like, oh, I know what I'm doing. Oh,
I know everything.
Yeah. You don't know everything.
Patrick and I were just talking about that.
Yeah. So it's like, but I mean, I can say that now. Hindsight's 2020. It's like I'm 40. I'm not 25. It's like it's one of those things. It's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
It's all about experience.
It is, and it's you learn from mistakes.
Yeah.
And I've opened a lot of restaurants for other people in all facets of the business. And I've seen the good, the bad, and the oh my God. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. You used to own restaurants. So like, you just, what are you thinking? Like, or that's genius. One or the other.
I truthfully think that the restaurant business comes from experience. I don't care
100%.
what kind of restaurant it is. All kitchens pretty much function the same, but it all comes, some are more complex than others, obviously.
Right. But the basis the equation is all the same.
It is the same. And I don't think you can get that experience in a school or a classroom. It's got to be taught on the job, in my opinion.
I would agree with that. I went to culinary school for about 2 weeks. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
It is for some people. I don't knock it. I think some people need that structure and development, things like that. To me, from the outside looking in, my only issue is culinary school teaches you to cook one dish very, very well. Doesn't teach you how to cook 10 dishes at the same time.
Sure.
And now it seems like there's a lot of, I'm an exec. I just need to know how to cost stuff out to be, I'm like,
yeah,
I will be the first person to tell you, I was like, you need to learn a lot more than that. Trust me, from my understanding. So,
from the bottom
absolutely.
Yeah.
Learn every position before you have to be the best at every position to be the leader.
Right. You have to lead by example.
Absolutely.
I agree 100%. With that.
And that's why at Max's, we used to start people on eggs at brunch.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you want to come try out?
Hey,
eggs at brunch.
That's what Blaine did to Blaine. Blaine said that he hopes he never sees another tray of bacon. For 2 years,
oh my gosh,
he did bacon at the hotel. When he's young.
Oh, the trays of bacon. Trays of bacon.
Yeah.
I bet it's crazy.
That was awesome. So but you just didn't go from being a bartender. How old did you decide you wanted to actually cook though? How did that happen?
I was always doing like dinner parties and things like that. People's birthdays come up. I'm like, let me cook dinner. Let me do. Case in point, a really good friend of ours, Amber Schiffner, Southwest Airlines, for her birthday, I did a 7-course dinner for 13 people out of my 2-bedroom townhome.
Did you really?
It was awesome. It was so good. And I think that was kind of like the turning point. Where like everybody's like, you could do this professionally and kind of take it on.
Yeah.
But like I said, I did some catering, and then I did some consulting. I had a mutual friend, Damon Weber, that kind of introduced me to Brenda Curley at Brackets, and was like, "Hey, we just go in and see what she needs to have fixed. What you think?" I mean, 25,000 square foot sports bar in Highland Park,
Huge,
right there, Mockingbird 75.
That's huge. Yeah,
it's massive. And I went in and I'm just like, all right. So I started taking notes. And then I realized that nobody's like busting tables. Let's like get up and start busting tables. Walk in the kitchen. People are like, who are you? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's cool.
Can you imagine trying to fill those seats in a 25,000 square foot building? Oh my God.
My first week on as exec was Mavs Portland series. The year they won the championship.
Oh boy. That wasn't hard to fill the seats in.
Holy cow, dude.
Standing room only.
All within 15 minutes. Like it's crickets in there until half hour before game time, and it's like boom! All of a sudden you got 400 burgers.
Like somebody opens up a floodgate somewhere.
Oh my gosh! Like my sous chef was like, "What do we do?" I'm like, "Just cook everything. Just cook everything." It's crazy. Printer just keeps going, doesn't shut up.
Yeah.
Worst shift of my career.
Was it really?
Absolutely.
Did y'all get behind?
Yeah. I mean, we caught up, but it was like you weren't prepared for 350 people to sit down at the same time, and everybody ordered.
Yeah.
For you're like, hey, you got to stagger this out a little bit.
Right.
Oh my God.
Some of that's up to the front of the house people though too. They should have been able to kind of help, but a lot of people don't in that situation. Don't. They should have staggered some of the.
Yeah, we didn't have good communication. There's a lot of issues with that whole setup that stemmed from me thinking that I was better than I was.
Yeah.
And so it was.
So you landed was Max's your first executive in Fort Worth?
No, it was actually my third.
Okay, so what was your first executive chef job?
The Brackets inside Palomar Hotel.
Okay, that one.
And then I left there and I went and opened Sisu, Uptown Resort, right there at Maple and McKinney.
Okay,
which is a lot of fun.
I haven't been there yet.
They just closed, I think, last month.
Guess I won't be going there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we opened it as kind of a supper club in the building. It was an old jewelry store, right across the street from Capitol Grill. And then we put a saltwater pool in the back and made it a day club on the weekends. So guys like Oakenfold, Diplo, and all these guys came through. DJs, huge DJs to come play.
So it was open for a while then?
Yeah, it was open for
10 years? Decade?
No, I think almost 5.
5, okay.
It was a great opportunity. I got to see a different facet. I got to do some other stuff, some more refined foods and things like that. And then as the club side kind of took over a little bit more, we just kind of went different ways with the food program. I left. That's where I went to Max's. And opened the Fort Worth store, which is probably the highlight of my career so far. I would say a lot of things happened.
Yeah, that was good for you. Then
that was a lot of fun there.
When you were at the last job there, the last restaurant. What's a good thing is a lot of people nowadays in Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, anywhere they don't go out of a certain block radius to eat. They just don't travel to eat.
Exactly.
They get comfortable. So certain culinary delights and experiences are in a certain area, and you can learn by being in different areas as a chef, different things that people like. You just learn a lot more, I think.
Yeah, and I think that Max's was the perfect storm.
It was.
It was half was structured.
I remember that. They had the Max's menu.
Yeah,
and
so
they
it's
had
like
your
you had the
menu.
corporate side, and then we also had free range. I mean, everybody knows if you've ever worked with a chef, it's like herding cats.
That's
like,
right.
You got to keep us kind of. We like structure, but we want to have a little freewheeling fun.
Yeah.
And so that menu changed all the time. But this, like, if people like certain things, like the fried chicken, for example, or something like that, that was always there. It was a mainstay.
Chicken was good.
It was solid.
Yeah.
And so, but we got to do some more adventurous stuff, and then, especially after winning Top Chef, like I got a lot more free reign to do whatever I wanted to do. So
go ahead, go back to that chicken. Did that chicken take 25 minutes to cook?
25 minutes.
I remember that. I bet
250.
I'd be madder than mama.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like, again, it's like education with your staff. Tell them, like, hey, it's going to take 25 minutes.
Yeah. Well, they tell you
250 degrees for 25 minutes.
It was good stuff, man.
Yeah. It's kept it juicy.
What was that slogan? Chicken and bubbles, why the hell not?
Fried chicken and champagne, why the hell not?
Fried chicken and champagne, why the hell not?
There's a couple of them there that was like, ooh, we should put that on a T-shirt. But there's a couple of them made it, you know.
I say go for it.
Yeah, why not? The Trey Chapman slogan. So it's cool. It was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, like I said, the Dallas and the Fort Worth store both shuttered, but the Houston stores are still going strong. It's funny to see
Denver. They want Denver store.
I think the Denver's still open. I think San Antonio's still open.
Okay. The Fort Worth was their best store, right, for a long time.
I'm biased, but I would say absolutely yes. In sales, no. The one on Westheimer in Houston, the original.
I remember you telling me that.
That place does like $22,000 at brunch on Sunday.
Yeah.
And if you see that kitchen, it's a 24-inch flat top, a 4-burner stove. Yeah. And to watch the
all the kitchens in Max's are small, right?
Yeah. And that's kind of how I'm doing Wishbone too. Is like that turn and pivot instead of take 4 steps to do anything. It's just more efficient.
I was just going to ask you what you thought about that. It's more efficient.
Yeah, because at Brackett's, I had a 20,000 square foot kitchen. I had a Pappas style kitchen.
Yeah,
and it was just too much room. Like you spend more time trying to get back and forth to places, trying to find things, turn and pivot, keep it close. Also,
too, it gives you more room to set stuff down. You'd be quicker and get it out.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah, absolutely. It's efficient and it's compact. I think that by the time I'm done cooking, I'll be cooking out of a closet. The kitchen keeps getting sloped on. Like my business partners, when we're designing Wishbone, they're like, "You sure you don't want a bigger kitchen?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." They're like, "Really?" I'm like, "No, I'm fine. It's okay. Yeah. I've done this before." Like, it's funny because like the Max's like with that galley style one-ended kitchen.
Yeah. That was you had to take care of business, boy.
And we had Elijah, who's, I mean, this kid's 6'5", 275, 280. I mean, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
And he's standing at the end of the kitchen. We're doing health inspection. And she's like, "You only have 31 inches from equipment to equipment." I'm like, "Well, that's a fire code issue, not a health code issue." So I'll cross that later. She's like, "Well, what happens if there's a fire?" And Elijah's got his back to the wall on the other side of her from me. And he's like, "If there's a fire, you better don't worry about getting in my way." He's like, "I'm going to get out of this kitchen." I was like, "Oh God, so bad." But yeah, I think that the smaller the kitchen, I mean, we can still run 4 guys on that and be efficient and fast.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, it's the guest. Like,
right.
How are you going to affect the guest's experience?
Sure.
And I think in this day with instant gratification and all these things with social media like that, people want it now.
Yeah.
So the concept of a 30-minute wait on something.
And you talk about social media also too. What makes social media bad is when they see a picture, they want that. They want that when they come in.
Yeah.
Used to the old advertising days. You see something on the radio, I mean on TV or whatever, or on a billboard, and it will never look the same.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is like, I know this is a bad analogy for like high-end restaurants or what we try to do in the craft kitchens, but I'm like, when's the last time you saw a Big Mac look like a Big Mac?
Yeah, I know. That's the truth, though.
Yeah, it is 100%. So our goal was to create consistency, but at the same time, give our team like the creative ability and leniency to come up with something and make it look pretty.
Sure.
You do eat with your eyes first, but
most definitely.
I mean, you know Gino over at Revolver.
Yeah.
Like he said it best. He's like, just because you make a pretty plate of food and it doesn't come from the heart, it's still just a pretty plate of food.
That's right.
That's my favorite quote.
Yeah.
It's like, it has to come. I have a servant's heart. I love to watch people enjoy what I make.
I know.
And so.
You like to plate too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's like, I want you to enjoy all facets of it.
Yeah.
Like eat with your eyes and then enjoy the story and the food and where it comes from and why we did it. Yeah, absolutely.
And I told Dean this, like Dean and I talked about this last week, Faring, they just did a big study. And the study now is that people prefer not to cook at home, to have a less of a home, but go out and have more food and drink experiences.
Right.
It's a huge deal now. They want to experience.
I think material things are not as important.
No.
And I agree with that. I think that, and then what we're trying to do with Wishbone is kind of bring back the experience of dining and fellowship over food and breaking bread. And the thing I loved about Max's was it was cold, it was dark, it was cramped, it was loud.
Right.
And I don't mean that in a bad way.
No,
I know a lot of people
the atmosphere was fantastic.
A lot of people are like, "Oh, no, it's
vibrant."
Exactly. And it creates conversation with your people next to you.
Yep.
But you're just far enough away, you don't have to talk to them if you don't want to.
And you had lots of bar seating too, which I think is people like to sit different directions. You had high tops, you had bar seating. You had low tops, and then you had the booths. What you're called?
The banquette.
Banquette.
Yeah. So we'll have the same thing at Wishbone. It'll be the same similar type of layout, just because I like that style. Got a large patio, faces the southeast.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Don't want to face in the west.
No, not.
Oh boy, no.
Already done with that.
When I see, I'm like, y'all, you have to be. When I see new restaurants doing that, I'm like, what? No,
it doesn't make sense.
You can't use it.
Yeah, at all. So this will be perennial. We'll be able to use it year round. I enjoy it. I like the space. It's got great character. Leslie Marshall is our designer who did Thompson's bookstore.
Yeah, I like Thompson's a lot.
She has a fantastic eye towards. She found the doors.
I like the door.
All these things, and she's like, we're gonna build tables. We're gonna do all this. She gets the concept. When we sat through our meeting, I was like 5 minutes in. I'm like, just let me sign the paperwork. I'm like, I'm good. I'll just cut you a check. We'll be good.
Yeah.
She's phenomenal, and her ability to take things and transform them into something very cool and something different and eclectic is awesome.
Tell us how Wishbone Flynt came about. Tell us how it evolved from start to the inception.
So I think that, our end game as all chefs is to own our own place, essentially. Because Kyle Bryson, one of my business partners.
Passion, because you have passion for it.
Absolutely.
Some guys don't have passion. Some guys are there for a check, and I call them cooks, not chefs.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all cooks, but I think at the same time, like,
there's a difference.
you
chef.
have to have a passion. You have to have a passion.
Yep.
Like, if you're not excited about the food, your guest's not excited about it.
Nope.
So Kyle Bryson and Wallace Owens, my two business partners, they own a small bar in Grand Prairie, and they were looking to open a restaurant. And reached out, and they're like, "Hey, would you be interested in sitting down with us and talking, kind of going over some stuff?" And we did. This is probably 2 years ago now.
Oh, so it did. So it took a while.
We've gone through a couple of different things, like trying to come up with the right concept. We had a couple of concepts. Things fell through for the right reasons. We originally looked at doing downtown Arlington
For
Wishbone.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a great spot in a couple of years. I think we were just ahead of it a little bit.
It's coming around though, down there.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I like it.
Jay Jerry just signed. He's putting Connie Rosso in over there right next to Legal Draft. I think it'll
Tipsy Oak is there. It's nice.
Absolutely. I live right around the corner, so I mean, we were trying to do something kind of close to home.
They got good burgers there.
They do.
Yeah. Anyway, go to your store.
We were excited about it, and then just couldn't make it work. So
yeah,
we found a great spot here in Fort Worth. I enjoy being in Fort Worth. I
know
hope
you
that the
do.
clientele and the people here do as well. I think
you the brunch king, baby. You're the brunch king.
Ben Merritt, I'm coming back. I want my brunch back, Ben.
He's on 95.9 The Ranch. Come see me. Come see me a fixture.
Exactly.
We got what you want.
It's never bad when you can afford a commercial on radio.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so we kind of worked through some stuff, kind of came up with this process of Wishbone and Flynt.
Tell us. Okay, let's talk about the name Wishbone and Flynt.
Yes.
Explain to us how, because I really love the name. Wishbone Flynt. I like that logo, by the way.
Yeah, it's great, right?
I like that. Tell us how Wishbone Flynt came about.
So, Wishbone, the Vikings were the first culture to dine communally around a table.
Right.
Like to actually sit down and have dinner and break bread.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
The Wishbone chair is the chair that basically came out of that process.
That is
that
cool.
scoop back, looks like a modified T down is a Wishbone chair. Flynt makes fire makes food. We just put a Y on it because it looks pretty on paper. But that whole is like the origin of dining and sitting down and breaking bread and fellowship over food. I'll use that a lot. And it's what we want to get back to. It's like there's too many bells and whistles and things that food has to look good, food has to taste good.
Vikings could eat now, boy.
Yeah, and people have to be comfortable. It has to be approachable. And don't price yourself out of the market.
Don't price yourself. And that's another thing I was going to tell you about that study. That study was about affordability.
Yeah.
Experiences versus affordability.
I'm greedy. I don't want your money once. I want it all the time.
Yeah, that's right. What he said. My buddy Chad says I'm a capitalist.
Yeah, exactly. So, and kind of working with like the menu style and format. One of my favorite restaurants in the country is Girl and the Goat in Chicago. Stephanie Izard does phenomenal stuff.
I've seen it, read about it. That's one place I want to visit.
You have to go. I
talked to Jan about we're going to go.
Bree and I went when we got engaged. That was our trip, was to Chicago. And,
you enjoy it?
Man, she's so good. Her food is so phenomenal. But
experience.
But everything's like $8 to $19. It's all small plates. It's all shareables. The wine list, there's like 200 wines on the list, under $100.
That's great.
It's affordable and it's approachable. And we tried to get a reservation 2 weeks before, and she's like, I have a Monday at 10:30. Like at night? She's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, I'll take it. And so we get there, and they're on an hour wait at 10 o'clock on a Monday. We just sit down till 11 for dinner.
I bet you. Did you have a few cocktails before you sit down?
Well, obviously, yeah. But it's like I'm like, this is the dream. Like this to be this busy on a Monday.
Yeah,
is crazy. And so we took that and kind of worked it around, kind of went through things. And then once we found the space, it really lended it to the vision of the restaurant and the way it's going to work.
It's me. I'm a big, and I tell people this all the time, when it comes to naming restaurants, what's in the name needs to be not only tell you what it is, but also intriguing. Right. And the Wishbone and Flynt is just intriguing. It's just a cool name.
I think so. It has a good story.
It's got a great story.
I think that it'll resonate with people. I think that's the other thing. It's like, I mean, I've always tried to take my food and resonate with something from your childhood to bring you back, like peanut butter and jelly wings. Like, come on.
Like, those were good. Those were good. I'm gonna ask you about that in a second.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have any? You gonna have a table with original Wishbone chairs?
Yes. So we're looking at chairs now. The chef's table will be very cool and very conceptualized in that manner. So it'll be really neat once we get in there and get it
I know you got a lot.
I'm itching, man. I'm itching to start.
I know you are, but you know that is permits and cities.
It is what it is, man.
Fort Worth, if you're listening,
hashtag hurry up and wait.
Hurry up and wait. Hashtag worth it when it gets done.
No, absolutely. I mean, it'll be fine. It's like we're just itching. Like it's been 2 years, and it's finally to that point where we're ready to start.
Now you're just chomping at the bit, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm like, all right, come on, let's go.
You're like a horse just pawing to take off.
My wife is chomping at the bit. She's like, let's get this thing open.
I bet she is.
Yeah, so we're excited. So Wally and Kyle and myself and put a lot of roundtables at the diner on Saturday mornings together and coming through things. And Roush Architecture, they've done a great job with the design and the layout. Josh Hendricks, I know you know Josh. Yeah. He kind of runs around the same scene we do in Texas country. Yeah. He's doing all my kitchen stuff, so he's fantastic.
Man, I've been so busy now with food stuff. My schedule now is just, it's literally night and day. I mean, I never wanted to work this hard. And stuff just keeps coming up, and now it's literally 20 hours a day.
It's funny. Carter Gresham, who owns Mobile Knife Sharpening, he's like, I had a hobby turned into a damn job.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. What was your favorite thing that you ever cooked at Max's? What was the most favorite thing you cooked, detail-wise, and how'd you do it?
I would probably say, man, that beef, either the beef cheek or the lamb hearts. I know it sounds weird. It's like two weird cuts of meat, but like beef cheek is like,
it's very roast, tender.
Pot roast times 10. It's the second hardest working muscle in the cow next to the tongue. But it's really like, if you like short ribs, you will love beef cheek. Yeah. It's just that much more sticky, unctuous, delicious.
If you don't tell people what it is, and they eat it, they'll love it.
Absolutely.
But if you tell them before, they won't even try.
I served it at my wedding.
Yeah.
No, literally.
They'll be like, what you trying to give me, boy?
That's where that dish came from. It's like, all my family from Michigan's like, I'm not eating that. And I'm like, you should. And then one person tries it, and they're like, oh my God, you got to eat this. It just quivers at the fork. It falls apart.
And how'd you prepare? What I forget what the name it was. What was
we just called it pot roast times 10.
Okay, because that's a cool name
to keep from having cheek on the menu.
Sure,
because people,
they won't eat it.
I mean, it was number 2 seller right behind the fried chicken. So, that was a great dish. And then
how'd you prepare the?
So we'd braise it for 6 hours in red wine, mirepoix, and beef stock, and then just we picked it up, demi-glace, roasted sweet potato puree, and a little crispy sweet potato strings. It was a lot. It was good. It was really good. I mean, to the point where I took it off the menu in July, because I mean, nobody wants to eat pot roast in July in Texas.
You thought?
Yeah. Some people are like, what did you do with the pot roast? I'm like, I'll put it back.
But wait a minute. It was when people have a preconceived notion when you say tongue, I think something's going to come out looking like a tongue. That's not the way it comes out.
No, at all. And
you don't even know what it is.
And 9 times out of 10, if people don't like something, it's because they haven't had it cooked correctly.
Let me tell you something. We talked about this. I talk about this on every show, how people get in ruts and they don't want to try new stuff because they have preconceived notions of how they might have tasted before or they haven't tasted it at all.
Right. Well, that's the great thing about Wishbone. It's all small plates, it's all shareables. So bring 5-6 people in, get 8 plates, and get out of your comfort zone. It's okay if you don't want to, but
Jana's going to like that. Jana don't like me eating off her plate all the time.
Oh, yeah. I feel you. 11 bar French toast.
Oh, yeah.
I hate lemon. I hate lemons. And this guy like polishes off a double stack of French toast in like 4 minutes. He's like, I hate lemon. I hate lemon. Granted, this is right after cattle auction at the rodeo. And I watch him just devour this French toast in like 4 minutes. It's crazy. He's like, I hate lemon. I'm like, looks like you
I was licking the plate, I think.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Those are fun days, man. Rodeo time. Yeah, that area is crazy.
I didn't even go this year, man. I was literally so busy with the show and everything I'm doing. It was
weird, man. It's weird. There's a weird aura about it being the last year. Yeah. Now it's gonna be all commercialized, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're not gonna have any of the old, but that's kind of. I think that's.
It's evolvement.
It's evolved.
Or evolvement. That's a good word.
Evolution. It's business. It is.
Yeah. And they need more seats, and I get it.
Yeah.
As Will Rogers.
It's going to be a lot of different experience and stuff. Just what's going to happen.
I'm going to miss hitting my head on the rafters when I have to sit all the way up. Or the steepest stairs in sports. I think that's what they should be. It's like that Coliseum's like that.
I know. Yeah. Oh, at the top. Yeah. I wouldn't know. I never go up there. I'm just messing with you.
Hashtag entitled.
No. Hashtag work my butt off. Yeah. I'm funny.
I got to sit in that Chapman family box once, and it was nice. Don't get me wrong.
I'm messing with you.
I know. It's all good.
That's funny. We're going to go to a break here because we are, like you talked a while ago, we're capitalist here at this show.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to pay some bills.
We got to pay some bills. So we're going to let you listen to some advertisement a little bit, and we're going to take a little break. We're going to be back in about 3 minutes, and we got a whole lot more to talk about with Chef here, Stefon. See you in a minute.
Got an old car? You can donate it, whether it's running or not, to the United Breast Cancer Foundation and save a life. They'll even come and pick it up for free. The United Breast Cancer Foundation has saved hundreds of women's lives through their free or low-cost breast screen exams. But now they need your help. The United Breast Cancer Foundation wants to save more lives through early detection by offering women free or low-cost breast screening exams. And donating your old car, SUV, or truck, whether it's running or not, helps pay for them. Plus, you get a charitable tax deduction. Help the United Breast Cancer Foundation save lives by donating your old car, SUV, or truck. Call now for free pickup. 800-245-0823. 800-245-0823. 800-245-0823. Call right now. That number again is 800-245-0823.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-452-1075. 800-452-1075. That's 800-452-1075.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
Better. All right, here we go. We are back on this crazy network, Spoonie. I can't believe somebody actually gave me a national, worldwide platform to talk to people.
You are not the only person. We're all like, wait, Trey got a show?
I know.
With a camera?
And a voice?
Yeah. But then I go, oh, he's actually talking. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Awesome.
Somebody makes me mad.
Yeah, all right. A little different from that rodeo show.
No, well, it is. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna talk. I want to talk. I want to talk about Top Chef for a minute.
Yeah.
So you won that deal, but tell everybody what it's like to be in Top Chef competition and how stressful it is and everything you went through to prepare for it. How'd that work for you?
So, I might be one of the minorities. I loved it. I love the process of it.
Yeah.
I like that challenge of thinking on your feet, and like when a guest comes in, they have an allergy. I take that as a challenge. I want to create the best dish and what I have on hand to come up with something on a whim. And that's really what Top Chef is. Like, everybody starts with the same ingredient. The prelims were like, we had to make a certain amount of pico de gallo in a short period of time properly with the right cuts and all of that. And then we had to break down a duck and a rabbit.
Right.
Just shows your butchery
Wait, when you say
skills.
break it down, explain what you mean by break it down.
Fabrication. So like you're taking that duck and cutting it into 8 pieces.
Right.
Take the breasts off, the legs, the wings, such and so forth. Duck or the rabbit the same way. And then for our final practical at that stage, we had to make a dish with those 2 proteins. I like that process. I like the challenge. I like the stress. I like the pressure. There
are two kind. I've learned in the last 5 years. You know, I was in the restaurant business, but I'm now a chef. Don't claim to be. I just watch them. But being closer now to chefs and watching them work, there's 2 kinds of chef. There's a chef that will work under pressure and just hone, and there's somebody who can't work under pressure. And there's 2 different.
This business will chew you up.
I know.
If you're not ready for it.
There's some people that just they can't.
I think that there's people that are methodical.
Yes.
And have a process of structure and steps of prep and things like that. And there's people that just have a better ability to think on their feet.
Right. People with ADD are like that, like me. You just bam, you just
do
go,
10 things. Yeah, I don't have. Yeah, I'm just like, all right, I'll figure it out. Like, it's just one of those deals.
Yeah.
For the finals, on stage is a whole other deal. Like, you have the crowd,
you did
the sound.
Okay. But they make you, don't they make you taste different spices and stuff too?
Yeah. So we had to taste. Well, basically, John made a sauce. And then we all had to taste it,
dissect it,
and tell them what's in it
by taste.
Yeah, the minute you got something wrong, you're out.
Yeah,
and so I like that challenge too because I think I have a pretty good palate. I I think I've always had a pretty good palate. My grandfather kind of instilled that in me to taste things out of the garden fresh and then taste them cooked to taste the difference.
That's why chefs that smoke a lot have a saltier menu.
Absolutely. You don't have any taste buds left.
No, your taste buds.
And I quit smoking 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It just makes you a better chef.
Yeah.
I think you have to have those senses available to you.
Yeah. You do. If you're going to be, yes.
It's a very sensory job.
If you're going to create award-winning dishes, I think you have to have your palate.
It does help.
It
Yes,
does help,
absolutely. But Top Chef's a lot of fun. Like I like that, getting the crowd into it.
Yeah.
And I kind of attribute that to me. I worked front of the house in restaurants for a long time. I learned how to handle people, control people, lead people in the right way.
Don't you think the front of the house, if it's vibrant, it helps drive the back of the house? The kitchen?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. You have to have a good culture.
Yes.
We'll use that word a lot too in a restaurant. Is you have to have the right culture, because if your guests experience the right culture, they will always be your guests and they will always come back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cliche. Treat your guests like VIPs. Treat your VIPs like family. That type of mentality. It's true. Richard Branson has the best mentality too. Treat your staff properly. Your staff will treat your clientele properly.
But you know what? You treat everybody the same. You treat everybody like they're a star, Stefon. Your whole right.
I try.
That's what you've always done. I know I know sometimes you get buried and get hectic, but when you're back there working, but you come out, and I think it's important that you come out and talk to communicate with guests. Which you do that.
So Dean Fearing is the perfect prime example of this. I was 22 years old, and I took a girl to the mansion on Turtle Creek for dinner.
Yeah.
I had like $300 to the dime in my pocket, and I'm praying to God she doesn't order something super expensive or wants an expensive bottle of wine or something.
Yeah.
And Dean comes out to every table and touches every table, says hi, because that's Dean. That's what Dean does. He's that old guard of you're spending your hard-earned money in here. I should at least come say thank you and say hi.
Right.
He treated me like the guy next to me spending $5,000 on a bottle of Bordeaux.
Yeah.
And that resonated with me to this day, that you treat everybody the same no matter how much they have, what they ordered, because they are still spending their hard-earned money in your establishment.
Right.
That is a huge deal to me. And every time I see him, I thank him for that. I was like, long before I was a chef, that was.
Yeah.
I want that. Like if I go and I spend money somewhere, I want somebody to come out and say hi.
He was on the show last week, and he talked about going to each dining room. He talked about how he had them laid out, and he could go talk to everybody, every guest.
Yeah, but nobody does it anymore.
No. Well, some of them do, but a lot of them don't.
We have a lot of introverts in this business, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
I get that.
I think this is me. If I was going to open up another restaurant with somebody, I'd make sure the chef had a personality that to come out and visit, because people will pay for experience, but they also want to talk to the people who are making experience happen.
Absolutely,
to make it a full rounded experience happening.
Exactly, and then like you're saying, experience. It's the whole ball of wax. You know, it's like
they want to put a face on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes them feel good.
Yeah. They want to feel welcome. They want to feel appreciated. They want to feel valued.
Yeah.
And that's a huge thing for me. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm just a steward.
I know. Yeah.
I mean,
everybody feel good.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, I take this information and I pass it on to my staff to make them better cooks and better chefs. I take this food and try to manipulate it to make it taste better for my clientele so that they have a better experience. I mean, that's what I'm here to do, is just a steward.
Exactly.
I think I hope that comes through in what I do. It's like those 6 seats in the middle of the bar at Max's. Like we call it death by food.
Yeah.
It's like if those are prime real estate. Like if you got one of those seats, it was on.
Yeah, that's right.
Like I'm like, you sit down. I'm like, I hope you haven't eaten in the last 3 hours, because it's coming.
You had a lot of cool artwork in there too.
Yeah.
Did you? I don't know if you saw. Are you friends with John Tizor on social media?
On social media, yeah. I've talked to him a couple events and stuff.
Well, he's got his new place in Plano. And he bought a bunch of chalk art. And somebody, his Johnny Cash one, it's one of the biggest ones. He's got Johnny Cash and a Bourdain, because he used to work with Anthony, Tony. And football, they came by and just,
what?
Oh boy, he was.
That's not a dude you want to make mad.
No.
Like they made an article about that.
Yeah.
Like he was on a cover of a magazine because you don't want to make that guy mad.
I know.
I would have been the same way. I'd have been livid. Like it's just the stuff that we had at Max's was very cool. And he actually
what do you do? Actually,
he actually ended up selling to every Max's had his stuff.
I'm sure you're gonna have artwork like that in your new place or similar or something.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It'll be a lot of fun. Like trying to keep as Fort Worth as possible.
Yeah,
that's the goal.
We've got to have fun. But now that I've got my AD self's got you off track again, let's go back.
Yeah.
So finish talking about Top Chef.
Top Chef. So so we got to get into it. And my wife is a social media guru.
Yeah, she is.
And so she had this.
She loves her some Stefon.
Yeah, she does. So she got this whole group. I mean, there must have been 100 people there.
Yeah. What was that button? I had it at my house. I was going to bring it today.
Oh, it's Team Chef On.
Yes, Team Chef On. Yeah, that's
and I was
right.
like, oh my gosh, she's got buttons. People had fake mohawks on.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Like,
what color was your mohawk that day?
I think it was pinkish, like fuchsia.
By the way, he changed the color of his mohawks, and they always look good.
Yeah, it was a baby hawk though. It was like here, and it was like just the tips were colored. And so like I was actually talking to Nikessa Moeller at Esoterica Fort Worth, the Hercatech people. She does bomb stuff.
Where is it? Where is it?
Esoterica over off Camp Bowie.
Yeah.
So if you're going west on 30, exit Camp Bowie, second right next to Aventino's.
That's who does your hair.
Yeah, she's badass.
What color is it going to be for Wishbone Flynt opening?
I don't know. I don't even pick the color really anymore. It was purple last.
I was going to say I like purple.
That fades into like a violet, and then we're like the gray will feed more silver, and then
you need to have it.
white.
You need to have it, and then have a Wishbone Flynt logo on both sides.
Man, you're killing me. Everybody's like, you should dye your goatee. I'm like,
Back to Top Chef again. Let's go back to Top Chef again.
So so John Bonnell always has some crazy stuff going on for Top Chef.
Yeah.
So we had langoustines, and then a whole prime strip loin. And so I took the vein end of the strip side, and I did a duet. So I did a seared prime strip loin,
Right.
and then I did a tartare with a poached buttermilk poached langoustine.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It kind of makes you expand your palate and expand your stuff instead of
Pushes you.
yeah, absolutely,
Pushes you to be better.
absolutely.
And how
Instead
did
of just doing something
stress wise? How were you? Were you okay stress wise, or what was it? What was the feeling inside of you? What did it feel like to you as you were doing it?
I don't really remember.
Yeah, it's just go.
Yeah, it's like boom. It's like you just start cooking, and it's kind of like Sunday brunch working eggs.
Yeah,
Like it's like you start and then you're like, oh, I went through 60 dozen eggs today. Like it's like, wow, that was fast. Like it's just cooking. It's one of those things. If you're moving, time is a different deal. Like they're constantly reminding you of what the time is, but I worked the line every single day for 3 months before Top Chef because I wanted to know my timing were right and ready to go. And I think that probably did me better than anything else, is because my cook times, I knew my prep times, I knew what I could accomplish in those times.
Sure.
But man, winning it was something else. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you enjoyed it. I know.
I had a good time.
Team Chef On.
Team Chef On, baby.
Yeah, that picture's great. You hold that plaque up in there.
Yeah, it's
making my hair.
I do a lot of stuff with ProStart, not as much as I have in the past. I'm getting back in with Trimble Tech and Natasha Bruton over there with her kids, but again, steward. So we take Top Chef and we take that knowledge of what we do and how we progress and pass it on to the next generation. You of all people know, like we have a shortage of cooks in this business.
Oh boy,
it's really, really bad right now.
Yeah, they have a shortage of everybody. Period.
Yeah,
and they just keep opening them up.
Yeah,
I'm like, what in the?
I'm crazy.
Yeah,
man.
but you've been. That's
but it's like
it's different.
You got to find good people and you got to treat them well. You got to pay them well.
Yep.
And you have to budget for that because the $8 line cook does not exist anymore.
Not anymore. No, it doesn't.
They talk to Keith. Keith would be like, man, that dude left me for a quarter.
I know. He told me.
He's driving 10 more miles and he left me for a quarter. He's losing money and he left me.
You know what Keith told me one day? Keith said he couldn't find a dishwasher position. So now anytime he'd hire somebody, he'd say, come back here, let me show you a station.
I love that guy, man.
Oh, he's funny, right?
Love piece of chicken grease, baby.
Oh, man. Did you see the segment about talking about the guy with no teeth?
Yes.
Where he said the guy was trying to, oh, my dude, we were rolling. Chad Prather, he was rolling, man.
Keith is something else, man. Like,
he's true.
I love that guy.
He's true Keith, man.
Absolutely.
So tell us about the menu at Wishbone and Flynt. First of all, again, it's going to be on the near south side.
Right.
And it's going to be, is it right there on Main?
Yeah, so 2 blocks south of Victory on Main to the left.
To
so
the
like
left.
if you turn left on
By
Broadway.
Frank Kent.
Turn left at Frank Kent. That's Broadway.
Right.
And then take that parking lot that's right there on the right. That's my parking lot.
Awesome.
Into that corner is where
that
our
building
patio
is badass. So it's going to be
awesome.
there.
Right across the street from Hot Fusion, yeah.
And we're looking at the end of summer, maybe?
Yeah, I'd say probably end of summer is a good one.
Good goal to have.
Yeah, so we're looking at probably 14 to 20 items on the menu, all shareables, small plates.
I know you've already done one of the menus. Are you just playing around the menu now?
Just playing around, just trying to see what. I mean, it's been a 2-year process, so I've probably got like 8 or 9 menus written.
You got to be, oh yeah, you got to be excited, boy.
Take and pull and see what works seasonal. I think as we look at things and
how often are you going to change the menu? You know, Dean changed menu every 3 weeks now.
I would say it's probably every other month. That's the
good
goal. Not full changes, but intermittent changes.
You got to have your staples or your.
Trying to keep it hyper seasonally.
Yeah.
Like we'll look at the P mix,
locally grown.
P mix for all of you regular folk. That's a product mix. And what sells the most? What sells the least? So your bottom half you got to change all the time.
That's right. All going to be farm fresh, locally grown.
Yeah, I mean, as local as possible. We do have. I mean, we're in Dallas Fort Worth, so what's available is available.
Right. Right.
I always think it's funny. People are like, oh, we're 100% local. I mean, that's super hard to do. People are really good at it, like Misty Norris, Matt McAllister, Joel, or over at Zakina.
Yeah,
those guys. I don't have. They have another level of
right.
I don't know how to explain it. They're unbelievable people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would as much as we can, but I'm more focused on seasonality than anything else.
Also, you have to have some pretty simplistic dishes for Fort Worth that people are going to come in and want to eat.
No, absolutely. I mean, we talk about this all the time. Whether you have 4 people or 44, everyone should find something to eat there.
Right.
I don't understand the whole purpose. No, it doesn't make sense to me in a restaurant.
You sound just like Dean Fearing. That's what he said, and so did Mike. You can't say no.
Well, like why? Why would you alienate a guest?
Can't.
It makes no sense.
No.
And so it's like, it's funny. It's like you're gonna have people come in like, oh, I'm allergic to this. I'm like, it's Friday at 7:30. Why? Call me earlier. I can have something waiting for you. But then it's just education of the guest and how to be able to speak and converse with that guest for the right process.
Sure.
Like I'm here to take care of you. This is what I do for a living.
I want to make you happy. I want you to come back.
But I need you to work with me.
I got to pay rent.
No, absolutely. I have a lot of bills to pay. TABC, I got to keep off my back.
Yeah.
But no, absolutely. I think that there has to be some stuff that is approachable.
Sure.
But
because some people do like simple stuff.
No, absolutely, and I get it. But you know me. I mean,
I know.
I'll have the chalkboard over the kitchen. It's gonna have all the weird stuff on it.
I know. What are some of the 3 dishes you've prepared so far for that you've been trying?
So I'm doing a char grilled baby octopus and marble potato dish with saffron aioli and a little bit.
It's not gonna be that thing I keep seeing on social media. The octopus is alive and it comes to the table alive. You got to eat it alive.
No, it's illegal here. You can't do that here. Well, I don't say if it's illegal. I guess it probably is. Actually,
I wouldn't do it.
I want to. I want to go to Japan.
I know, but I wouldn't put it in the rest. People freak out.
No. People lose. Yeah. Can you imagine?
No, they lose their damn mind in Fort Worth, Texas.
People like, I need to speak to the chef, please.
Yeah. Can you kill that, please?
I would say that there's that dish. The wings will definitely be on there for sure.
What kind of wings you gonna do?
The peanut butter jelly for sure.
Oh, do those.
Yeah, so people are always asking about them.
So he's got a dish he does. He's peanut butter jelly wings, and while the combination sounds really weird, it's not. It's very, very, very good.
It's a very spicy Thai peanut sauce.
Yeah.
And then we drizzle it with a blackberry coulis with a little bit of ginger in it. Top it with fresh chopped peanuts and fresh cilantro. It's really like pad Thai slapped a PBJ in the mouth, but they are good.
# worth it.
Yeah, I'm telling you. People are like, what? No, I'm like, dude, just eat it. And they're like, oh my God, that's so good. But it goes back to that resonating something with your childhood. Right. Everything should kind of come together.
Yeah.
The tater tots definitely have
You're going to have tater tots.
The house-made tater tots.
I love tater tots. Jonathan Paula got you yesterday on the thing about tater tots. That was funny. You said, you finally submitted. He was
about the burger, man. Telling you.
Boy, chef, y'all are the worst, man. Y'all just
we get on each other real quick. Yeah. He's like, oh, so it's about Cisco frozen tots? I'm like, sorry. Not all of us are only open from 4 to 7, 4 days a week.
Not all of us have pastry rooms.
Yeah.
Dry age rooms.
I'm cooking out of a closet, bro. A closet.
Yeah. J2 is a really good place, though. It's awesome.
No, absolutely. I've heard nothing but good things. I need to take Bree up there for dinner and go up there and go see JP.
Desserts are phenomenal. I mean, it's just
everything looks great. Fantastic.
Dude, he's got a macaroni and cheese he does, and he doesn't make any of it till you ask for it.
Nice.
They have a pasta room. They make the macaroni right there. They do it. And they serve it in a cast iron. It is awesome.
That sounds good.
I mean, dripping what you eat, and cheese just drips down the side of your mouth.
Well, you eat like that anyway. So like Trey, wipe your mouth.
What's the best thing that you've ever eaten your whole entire life? The best thing you've ever eaten? I don't care if it's in Chicago, Fort Worth, wherever.
Oh man, that's a tough one.
As a chef, you gotta have a
like in a restaurant,
anywhere, at home, or anything you made, or anything must made.
Man, I'd probably say locally, Blaine makes this butterscotch pudding. It reminds me of my grandma's house. Like I told him, I went for restaurant week
boy, he's a talented guy.
6 or 7 years ago.
God, I love that guy.
Man, his food is so good,
dude. It's insane.
He also does this like The squid ink capellini.
I've had it. I've had it
with the uni butter. Oh, dude, I could eat my weight in that. It's so good.
So I was at the bar and he said, I got something I want you to try. And I love them when they do that. He brought it out and I said, what is it? And my friend Damon was with me.
Yeah.
And he said, squid ink, blah, blah, blah. He went through the whole dish. And I was like, man, this is going to be good. And Damon was like, I don't want to eat that, man. I don't want to eat that. I said, dude, come on.
So good.
It was addicting.
You can't, I'm like, every time I'm there, I'm like that and the,
I was
basically go eat a Grace. This is a Grace commercial right now.
if I would not have been a Grace, I would have picked the bowl up and licked it.
And
literally.
the lamb belly dumplings with the Szechuan peppercorn. I'm like, dude, come on, man. This isn't even fair.
He had those. He also had tater tots fried in duck fat. He had a tater tot with fried duck.
We've had our conversation about duck fat with me and Blaine,
I know.
Other than that, Girl in the Goat, she does these crispy fried duck tongues.
Right.
That she gets from all the Asian restaurants around Chicago.
How's that made and prepared? Crispy fried duck
so she
tongue.
sous vide them.
The tongue ain't very big now.
I know, they're tall. Or they're small. So she sous vide them and then pulls the bone out and then she rolls them in cornstarch and fries them and then makes her own buffalo sauce.
Okay,
I could eat
the
like
tongue
500
can't
of
be
them.
that big.
Yeah, it's like a little popper, dude. They're fantastic.
Really?
They're so good.
How? What you put on? Say what you put
Just
on?
house made. She makes her own wing sauce, like a house made fermented buffalo sauce. So good.
Okay,
and then,
one other thing, real quick. Well, everybody now is talking about fermented. Like I had some, we had some
pickling.
Yeah, explain to me what fermented is. The other people who aren't chefs are listening. What is?
You're just basically letting things cure, pickle, rot in a controlled environment.
In a controlled environment, there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I love kimchi.
Yeah, I do too.
But it's some of the funkiest stuff on the planet.
Holster makes a lot of it's really good.
I love it. Like I love to make it.
Don't ask him for it hot.
But my wife's like, don't ask him for anything hot. But my wife's like, you can't have it in the house. She's like, I hate it. It's like
the smell of it.
She
The
can't
smell.
stand it. Yeah.
Oh,
it takes like 2 months to make.
Right.
And it's like
it's basically rotten cabbage.
It is under a controlled environment.
Under a controlled environment. Yeah.
Don't get the health department on me. It'll be all right.
No. Crispy. Wait, say the dish again. Crispy
fried duck tongues.
Crispy fried duck
They're
tongues.
so good, man.
Were they that good?
They're really good. And then out in San Francisco, Chris Cosentino, who has a place called Coxcomb, he does this brioche Taleggio grilled cheese.
Oh.
And then honey comes from like a block away. It's just lathered in honey, and then a bunch of Alba white truffles. So good.
Oh, truffles.
You know truffles.
I know truffles.
Yeah.
Patrick heard the truffle story last time.
Oh, have you told him on this?
Yeah, I know. Holster did.
Oh, my God. So that night, Marcus calls me, and he's like, you got to sit down. I was like, why? He's like, you got to sit down. I got to tell you something. I've never been so mortified, humiliated, entertained, and sick to my stomach at the same time. He's like, you're not going to believe what Trey Chapman did. And he goes through and tells me, and I'm rolling on the floor. I'm laughing so hard.
I just want to know how
He's
long
like,
it
it
took
couldn't
you
have
to get
tasted good. There's no way that tasted good. You're going to taste truffle for like a week.
Wait, what'd you say, Patrick?
Trey, how long did it take you to get those little pieces of truffle out of your mouth?
I was drinking whiskey pretty quick.
Yeah, it was one of those nights. He's like, he must have been 3 or 4 of them into it already. I was like, oh, good Lord.
Dude, you can't take for that kind of story, though. You just can't.
It's
Marcus hadn't said yes to the show yet. I think he's worried about what I'm about to say to him.
I think Marcus is more worried about not cussing.
Yeah.
Like we all have we cuss a lot.
Yeah.
But you get us together, it's real bad.
Real bad, yeah. That's
Especially
funny.
like him and Kevin and me together, it's always fun. So.
All right, so that's the best thing ever. Crispy fried duck. So let's go back. So I got you sidetracked again for the menu. So we talked about the wings, the peanut butter and jelly wings. So peanut butter, is that what you're going to call it?
Peanut butter and jelly. Yeah, PB&J.
PB&J wings. And then
tater tots.
What kind of beef you going to do? You going to rotate a little bit? Different beef items?
I think the standard will be we'll do a Nyman Ranch prime flat iron.
Right.
Do a steak, play on a steak frites kind of with something a little bit different. And then the chalkboard over the kitchen pass, like we'll open kitchen, kind of like what we did at Max's.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was just thinking. Is your kitchen? You know, I'm a big opponent of open. Is it going to be open kitchen?
Open kitchen.
Because Max's was open, but you still had a little. Is it going to be more open than Max's?
More open, but same kind of concept on the way they're like a cutout.
Okay.
Just because the restaurant's so dark, you need to keep that light in the kitchen,
right?
And not let it out. But we'll do a butcher cut. We'll change stuff up as it comes available.
Butcher cut will be good.
Yeah, it just kind of. I mean, you're a rancher.
Yeah.
The beef market's crazy.
The last 10 years, it has gone nuts. 10 years ago, I could not have believed what would have happened today. It evolved quick. I mean, it's quick.
And what kills me is like the stuff that we all used to buy for $1.98 a pound is $8 a pound now.
Dude,
I'm like, seriously?
Dude, I just did my.
You remember when short ribs used to be like $3? $3. And now everybody's like, oh, it's going to be $9.
Gasoline to pay for. We got trips to pay for. Hey, but I did my show.
Covering your Amex bill, Trey Chapman.
No. Hey, we did a show. I did my show on Fox. Best steaks for 2019. I don't know if you saw it yet. It was out. But I did 4 different restaurants. Well, one of them was nice for John Fatisa. Everybody gave me ribeyes. Well, John ggave me something that looked straight out of Fred Flintstone era, man.
Did he give you the tomahawk?
107. No, it was a 107 ribeye. It was just thick and big. And it was like twice as big, but it was just a great looking steak. They're all great looking steaks.
Yeah.
But,
he does with steak over there is something else, man. It's like, when I first heard it, he's like, oh, he's going to do a 300-day dry aged ribeye. I was like, that thing's going to taste like feet. But I've had it, and it is.
It's good.
But you know it when it comes out of the kitchen. You smell it.
Dude, you know he's got 6 now, and he's opened up 3 new concepts.
That guy's killing it,
in
man.
Laguna Beach, and then in Florida.
Yeah.
Seafood. I forget the name of it. It's a really cool concept.
Creating an empire.
Well, you got to.
He's part of that Colicchio group. He worked for Tom.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just anybody can do it. You're gonna be that way too. Anybody can do it. It's just hard work,
Lord willing,
dedication, passion.
Yeah, passion. That's
the
hard work.
Passion for your customers, which is what you have. And I told Blaine the same thing when Blaine talked about 6 days, 7 days for a Reuben sandwich after the Brian thing. It's just that's passion.
Yeah,
it's hard to find that.
Yeah, because it's like I could cut corners, but the only person that loses is you.
It's funny. I think in the chefing, and I call it the chefing because that's what I call it. In the chefing business, you have to be a lot of people can have a job or own a company and not be passionate about it.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be a good, successful chef with a badass restaurant, you got to have passion. You got to be passionate about your guest, what you're serving, and everything goes on in that restaurant.
Yeah, and you can't just get passionate when you get that restaurant.
No.
Like we're the lowest paid celebrities on the planet.
But you are.
Like everybody's like, oh, fortune and glory. It's like, yeah, but no damn fortune. Like,
you are that's funny. That's the truth, though.
It is 100% true.
And let's talk about that in the last 10 years. What's happened to chefs?
Oh, it's way better now.
Yeah, I know.
Don't get me wrong.
I know it's way better.
I take it back. It's a blessing and a curse. Food TV is a blessing and a curse.
Well, anything, social media, TV, anything.
Yeah, because everybody's a critic now. It's like,
we're going to here. Let's talk about that. I have a big problem with people writing about food that don't understand the workings of a restaurant or what actually goes on.
I get it. I mean,
I just for me, everybody can write about food, but I think to have the full scope of it, I think it's fair that if somebody has a little knowledge of what goes on, because things happen.
I've been accused of being Ramsay-esque a couple of times in my kitchen because I've always worked open kitchen.
Right.
And
heat of the moment.
Well, we had a half roasted chicken on the menu.
Operations, baby.
That's a 30-minute pickup.
Yeah.
And we tell people it's a 30-minute pickup. If your saute cook doesn't drop that chicken, waits like 10 minutes, and everything else is ready, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the meeting? Beep, 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 beep. Yeah. Like, get the chicken. And then this lady behind me, she's like, you don't have to talk to him like that. I was like, you want your food, but you don't want to know how it gets here.
Yeah. Well, no, it needs to get there. That's passion.
That's the whole thing. I was like, I don't want you to wait.
Right.
That guy dropped the ball.
Right.
And I'm going to get into his,
right.
Because he's not doing his job.
Right.
I'm like, this would be way worse if there was a wall. If there was a wall there, it'd be way worse.
Oh, yeah. Oh, downplay a little bit, why don't you?
I'm like, this is, subdued.
Subdued, yeah. So Wishbone and Flynt. So we're looking at maybe possibly in the summer.
Yeah, I say end of summer.
But in the meantime, you're doing pop-ups.
Yes, sir.
So they can look for your pop-ups.
Yeah,
how do they find those?
So Facebook, Twitter, the gram, as the kids say it now, Instagram.
Yeah.
Everything's under at Wishbone and Flynt.
At Wishbone and Flynt.
At Wishbone and Flynt.
And Wishbone and Flynt is very easy to spell, just like it sounds.
Just a Y for Flint.
Yeah.
So all over that, pop-ups, we're available for some caterings, weddings, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
It's the middle of festival season right now, so Fort Worth Food and Wine Festival tonight.
Yep. That's right.
That's gonna be fun.
I know. Thank goodness it's tonight though.
Yeah, tomorrow's the weather's gonna be. I'm going tomorrow to attend, but we might not. We'll see how the weather looks.
Yeah.
And then we're going to see Brother John on Sunday out there for the Ring of Fire. So a lot of cool events.
John would be John Sanford, Barbecue on the Brazos.
Yeah. Blow smoke. Eat more Q.
Hey, it's all he says all the time. Blow smoke. Eat more Q.
I love that guy. I love
He's
the guy.
Funny, isn't
but
he?
I'm on the John Sanford plan. It's like in 10 years, I'm going to be fishing.
Yeah, that's right. You don't want to make him mad either.
No, not at all. He's just that guy. You're like, don't mess with that guy.
Yeah.
I love that guy. Brother John's good people.
Yeah, yeah. So also Wishbone, Stefon Rishel on Facebook.
Yep.
Social media, but
Chef Stefon Rishel on Facebook. There's like 5 pages, I think, now. My email's on there. If you have any questions or needs or anything like that, reach me there.
There you go. If you're trying to get a hold of us, Trey'sChowdown.com. Very easy to find, just like it sounds. Trey Chowdown, but Trey with an E, because all the eloquent Treys are spelt with an E. So Trey's Chowdown.
That's a fancy jacket, ain't it?
Yeah.
And look at them cufflinks, too.
TreysChowdown.com, or you can look for us on Spoonie, at Spoonie, on all the social media. Spoonie Radio, they got all kinds of programs. This show is going to re-air all month long. I think on Fridays. I'm going to have to start programming, guys, but it will re-air all month. But we have all kinds of great food shows on Spoonie. So find Spoonie, like their page on social media, all of them, please, and get spoonied, as Chef Keith would say.
Support Fort Worth food.
Yeah, support.
Please.
Yeah, support Fort Worth food. Support Fort Worth, period.
Yeah, absolutely.
Giddy up.
Absolutely.
So, Stefon, appreciate you having
Absolutely,
me, buddy, man.
brother.
I really appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
I'm really excited for Wishbone Flynt. I can't wait.
Come on. You'll have a
I
chair.
know Bree's excited, too.
Yeah.
I'll have
ready.
a chair.
Gonna be fun.
There going to be any whiskey?
Maybe a little bit.
All right, y'all. See y'all next week on Friday for Trey's Chowdown on Spoonie.
This is the only 24-hour take-anywhere platform dedicated to food and fun. We're Spoonie.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Why did he back away his threat to immediately close the U.S. border with Mexico? President Trump explains.
After threatening to shut down the southern border as soon as this week, the president has changed course. He denies changing his mind and instead credits Mexico with doing more over the past few days to stop the flow of migrants heading toward the U.S.
If they continue that, everything will be fine. If they don't, we're going to tariff their cars at 25%.
He made his comments before leaving on a trip to California to see a section of border wall being built. Greg Clugston, the White House.
The president plans to snub the White House Correspondents Association again, saying he will not be attending its annual dinner, opting instead to hold a campaign-style rally.
The dinner is so boring and so negative that we're going to hold a very positive rally.
No decision yet on where that rally will take place. Does he view former Vice President Biden as a threat should Biden decide to run for president and win the Democratic nomination?
I don't see him as a threat. I think he's only a threat to himself.
And Mr. Trump says trade talks with China have been going well, with two of the most challenging issues already settled. A gunman is dead, a woman hospitalized after a parking lot shooting this morning on base at Naval Air Station Oceana in Virginia Beach, Virginia.
A male sailor shot a female sailor several times. The victim was transported to Virginia Beach General Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and both of those sailors are assigned to VFA 37.
Navy spokeswoman Beth Baker says a gunman fatally shot by base security personnel. American employers created 196,000 jobs last month, the jobless rate at a super low 3.8%. Wall Street, the Dow's up 28 points, the S&P 10 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Have you done it? You catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror?
I'm one of those people you don't want to see naked.
Yeah, most of us. But I mean, you look and you're going, what the?
I know.
How did I get to whatever?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. Hey there, it's Doc Thompson and Brad Staggs to tell you about a different way to shed those pounds. This is brand new tech. It's only been around for a couple of years or so. It was based on research from the University of California that said there's a molecule called OEA that's found naturally in your body. It produces it in the Mediterranean diet, that when taken in concentrated amounts, it will actually make you feel fuller and boost your metabolism.
I've lost about 10 pounds so far.
It's amazing.
It
Now,
really is cool.
A company said, we can take this to market and make this great product that'll help you. It's called Riduzone, RIDUzone.com, RIDUzone.com. It's Brad's work. It's worked for Brad's, worked for me, countless other people. Go to Riduzone.com and try today. You're going to love it. Riduzone.com. Remember that, RIDUzone.com.
Take the pain out of ordering your diabetic testing supplies with Diathrive. Diathrive ships the testing supplies you need directly to you when you need them. Best of all, with plans starting as low as $8 a month, Diathrive is probably going to cost you less than what you're paying today. Diathrive is so convinced that you'll love their service, they're offering your first month of supplies free. Simply type the code DOC, D-O-C, at checkout. Diathrive.com. That's DIA Thrive.com.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. That's 800-570-6630. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Food, culture, and fun. Spoonie.
This is Food Talk for Health, because you really are what you eat. Here is your host, Tonya King.
My guest today is Dr. William Lee, and today we're talking about the brand new book, Eat to Beat Disease. Thanks for joining me, Dr. Lee.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for inviting me tonight.
There's a lot to talk about. Let's start by telling us a little bit about your background and how you got to this point to even decide to do the book, Eat to Beat Disease.
Right. Well, I'm a physician, an internal medicine doctor, and a scientist. I study blood vessels. I've been doing that for almost 30 years. And most of my career has, in fact, been figuring out how do you conquer diseases by finding the weak spots, the Achilles heels of diseases, and developing new medicines for them. And over the course of my career, I've been involved with 32 FDA-approved new treatments for everything from cancer to diabetes to vision loss. But one of the things that I realized along the way was that there was this sort of missing tool in the toolbox for doctors and patients alike, and that was food. Traditionally, in medical school, doctors aren't taught very much about nutrition, and I certainly wasn't. But all of my patients always asked me at the end of a visit what they could be doing for themselves, especially if they actually were grappling with a serious disease. And so I realized I didn't know much about it. I felt that was wrong. And it set me on this journey that led me to write this book, because I started to realize that you could take the same type of serious scientific approach that we use for drug development and study foods. So in my new book, Eat to Beat Disease, I really talk about the new insights into food and health, and that's this. When it comes to our diet, it's not just really about the food, it's about how our body responds to what we put inside it. And that's really the essence, is that when you have an appreciation of how our body naturally defends itself against disease, then you have a new lens at which to look at which foods can actually help activate that.
I am so glad to hear you say that now food hopefully is becoming a topic in medical communities and education, because you're right. It seems that doctors never talked about how what we're putting into our bodies is really affecting our health, our disease, and it's great that this is finally coming to the forefront.
Right. Well, we've taken things even further by looking at what actually health actually is. So most people think of health as the absence of disease, but we know it's a lot more than that. In fact, what we've discovered is that our health is a result of our body's natural defense systems, of which there are 5 I write about in my book. And these defense systems are hardwired in us, and they are firing on all cylinders from the time we're born to our very last breath. And so what's interesting, what are these defenses? Turns out it's angiogenesis, which is the process our bodies use to grow blood vessels. Our circulation brings oxygen and nutrients to every cell in our body, defends us. Our stem cells, which, when we were kids, we were told that starfish and salamanders can regenerate, but people can't. Well, that's now been overturned. We now know that we do regenerate and repair ourselves from the inside out. Microbiome, healthy gut bacteria, our DNA protects and fixes itself from environment and lifestyle damage that we do to it. And our immune system, which is our 5th defense system, is more powerful than we ever thought. And we know this because there are now even cancer treatments that don't kill the cancers, but they just prompt the body's immune system to wipe out cancer by itself. So with these defenses in hand, we can now begin to take a look at what foods do from a completely new light.
I'm wondering, the approach of being able to try to cure the disease instead of just kind of put a Band-Aid over it is a major factor, and hopefully what we're eating can do that.
Right. Well, the traditional way that doctors approach disease is to try to diagnose and cure it using medicines. And in some ways, it's like, trying to corral the horse after it's out of the barn. I think foods can be even more powerful than medicines because they can help prevent disease in the first place. And if you think about it, health care is something that we traditionally think happens in the doctor's office or the hospital. But in fact, there is health care that happens between doctor's office visits. And that's the decisions we all make that affect our health and wellness. And that's the food that we actually put into our body every single day.
What have you found in your research as far as different foods helping?
Yeah, well, so it's sort of all based on the health defense systems, right? So what are the foods that actually activate and help support our health defenses, our natural health defenses? Well, it turns out of those 5 health defenses, there are more than 200 foods that I write about in my book, all supported by evidence, science, and facts. And these science and facts really help us really have clarity on some foods, and sometimes it actually overturns some urban legends. For example, we know that there are no magic bullet foods or magic diets, but there are some individual foods whose benefits might be surprising.